Hey everyone, today I'm taking a look at the Mammut Monolith GTX boots. I've had these boots for a couple of years now, so 2 winter seasons I've used them, and I have just used them for winter use. Winter walking, lightweight mountaineering, anything with crampons. They are a B2 boot, so at the heel they have the rigid plastic bail to take a semi-automatic C2 crampon. Obviously stiff enough in the midsole for that. The outsole is a Vibram unit, so really good quality as you would expect from them. I've had zero problems with grip or anything with this sole. It has a good, almost serrated edge for kicking steps, nice angles, give good grip, really bite into snow when you're using the boot to kick steps without crampons. At the front of the sole unit, around the toe, you have the climbing zone, which is just a flattened off area of rubber, which gives better grip when you're scrambling on rocks, things like that. You get a more surface area of the rubber in contact with the rock to give better grip. So these make a good scrambling boot as well, light enough for that. These UK size 10 weigh about 950 grams per boot, so just under 2 kilos for the pair. Similar sort of climbing zone at the heel for descending. Also in the theme of the scrambling and rocky terrain you might encounter with this boot is the nice big rubber rand all around the edge, good at least an inch deep all the way around to the toes, inside the join there in the middle where you're least likely to catch it, and back all the way around the heel as well. The rubber rand also covers part of the toe area, just above the big toe, comes over onto the top again, a bit more protection in that area where you might need it most. So really good. That's showing very little sign of wear. The sole as well showing very little sign of wear, apart from around the toes. There's a few scrapes and scuffs, as you would expect. I've used these probably about 20 days use in total. So moving on to the upper of the boot, the green and the blue sections that you can see are a velours leather, so it feels like a sort of rough textured suede type of leather, nice and abrasion resistant. The black or grey sections are the drop stop textile. It's a fabric, I would assume a nylon. I'm not sure exactly what it is or what it's made from or how it's made, but it feels really tough and durable, sort of rough textured, does feel like it would take a beating, and none of the upper is really showing any signs of wear. On a boot like this, that's constructed in this manner, you would be worried, or you could be worried about the stitching, the amount of stitching used for these, for the green bits and the blue bits. And I do have a few pieces of stitching pulling out, just like there, coming undone a bit. Stitching is a weak point, something to consider when buying a boot of this type. The tongue is fully gusseted and all the way up to the top, so pretty much level with the top of the cuff. Good for keeping dirt, debris and snow out. The lacing system is quite good. The lace loops on the inside come down in a straight line to there, and on the outside they come slightly curved around and a bit further down. So this is called an asymmetric lacing system. It's commonly used on climbing shoes where you want a really precise fit around your foot, and it's essentially a foot-shaped lacing system. So it follows this curve of your foot around and pulls in the boot where it's needed around the shape of your foot. So a lot of people will say that a boot just depends on how it fits your foot, and while that is true, and you should always try boots on before you buy them, a good boot will give a good fit. Mammut also use a base fit, what they call a base fit lacing system. So the bottom 3 lace loops and the one at the instep or heel are free floating, so they're fabric loops, When you pull the laces tight on those, it's actually hidden, but the fabric lace loop goes all the way down to the bottom of the boot, and you're pulling in the boot all the way from the bottom rather than just on the top, again wrapping around the shape of your foot. I do like that they've used fabric lace loops at the bottom end here. They're much lower profile, they don't catch so much on rocks or scrub, things like that. Nice and neat. The other lace loops are made of either plastic or metal, I'm not entirely sure which. It feels either like good plastic or cheap metal, but I've had no problems with those so far, and they do run smoothly, allow the laces to run smoothly through them and hold pretty well, so that's fine. You also have a lace hook in the middle of the tongue there, just to keep the tongue up, stop it slipping and creasing when you have the boots done up. Looking inside the boot now, and you have a full Gore-Tex lining, a full booty construction, as you might come to expect from boots nowadays, but it's worked great for me. I've had absolutely no problems with wet feet with this boot. Just taking a look at the insole, it's fairly basic, again as you might expect it from a stock insole. Maybe a bit thicker than some. On the underside is a sort of furry, almost felt material, which I would assume is there to give a bit more warmth, a bit more insulation from the cold ground underneath. Other than that, it's fairly basic, slightly shaped around the arch and lightly padded. They do still give a nice amount of flexibility in the ankle, forward and back. Really nice to walk in. You know, I've walked plenty of miles in them on normal terrain with no problems whatsoever. They're really nicely padded around the cuff and the ankle, so although you can't really see, if you reach inside, have a good press all around the ankle bone. Is loads of padding, really nice amount, really holds the ankle in, cushions it well. Mammut actually use a memory foam for this padding, so it does mould really nicely. And you do find sometimes that the first moment you put them on, tie them up, a few minutes of walking with the heat, the padding changes slightly, moulds around your feet, and maybe they feel a bit loose. I have noticed that after about 10-15 minutes after I put them on, so just undo them quickly and tighten them up again, and they're solid for the rest of the day pretty much. That's about it for the Mammut Monolith GTX. As with all boots, like I said before, try them before you buy them to make sure that they fit right. I do think these have a slightly wide fit to them. I have slightly wide feet, so they fit me well. Really nice, comfortable boot. Overall, I really like these boots. They're my first and only winter B2 boot so far. I've been really happy with them. They've done everything I wanted to do with them. If you have any questions about them in the comments below, I'll try to answer them. And thanks for watching.